After throwing for 0 passing yards last week against the Los Angeles Rams in a 34-0 defeat, changes had to be made. There wasn't really anyone available for our quarterbacks to really bring anyone new in. We did take a look at the next draft class at the beginning of, or at the end of last episode, and there was one quarterback who seems like he could be our future. But as of the present, the only change we could really make was a new offensive scheme, switching to more of a college-based RPO, read option, quick throws with mixing in just true straight runs as well as some developing deep routes. But primarily, we're going to switch it up, try to keep things short, quick, and see if that will actually, well, get our offense a single passing yard and a single point. So against a lowly 80 overall Chicago Bears team, we're both 3-8. Let's test out this new offense. And it will be offense up first, as we will be receiving the opening kick. Dylan just inside the red zone, or the end zone, I should say, will start us off, try to get a decent return, but will fall down at the 25. And we'll head out with a 4-receiver look, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Try to set up a little bit of a bubble screen pass here. Stoner will get the grab, 6 yards, play 1. Now, one thing that I did notice with a lot of the formations that did actually have, as apparently this is going to be a read option, Huntley finds some space down the middle, not going to get past the safety, but a heck of a run, as I believe possibly Arden Key injured on the play. But one thing I did notice is that a lot of the spread formations that had more of the RPOs and some of the screen passes didn't include the tight end. Obviously, we have Alton Campbell, who is our rookie tight end. We would like to keep him involved as we come out empty here on 2nd and 2. We're going to have a guy open to the outside. That's going to be Justin Ross with this catch. I don't think he had a single catch last week. Granted, not a lot of receivers did have a lot of catches, as quarterback play was really bad. We're going to go with a run here on the first down. Borgie will get down the middle. Kind of got stuck on the D lineman. Was it Onyemata, I believe? And on 2nd and 8, sticking with that same look. Again, a heavy receiver formation, but we do have Alton Campbell out there. As we're going to roll out to that side, we'll dump this one off for Fehoko, who will get the grab and get us inside the 10. Also, you've probably noticed that we started Tyler Huntley. I feel like he's the best quarterback for this scheme, but that can change, as we do have Borgie down the middle, close and in. First possession of offense, already a massive improvement off of last week. Now we just need our defense to primarily contain Justin Fields. We've seen in the past he's been able to run really all over our team before, so let's try to, keep him contained. And the main guys to do so are going to be Shakatoni and Dillard, the rookie edge. Shakatoni, I believe, is in his 3rd season, as he does get clean off the edge, but a quick out route to the tight end gets him a first. Now, obviously, Chicago Bears not off to a great season. Same record as us, 3-8. So there's clearly some exploits that we should be able to find, as Montgomery will stumble forward for the first. As for the defense, they really played pretty well last week. Obviously we lost big, but that was more so due to the offense. However, having said that, there are going to be some slight tweaks to who's getting the start at certain spots, primarily the defensive tackles in the pass rush. We're going to start Patoe, who played pretty well for us last year, who did enough to stay with the team. So we haven't got much of an interior rush, as a flag does come down on a first down rush here. Which will inevitably cancel that first down, which I am perfectly fine with. But what was I saying beforehand? Now I can't remember. Either way, Artie Burns gives up a first down there to Mooney. I believe I was talking about the DTs. Yeah, it will be Griffin and Patoe getting the start in the middle. and hopefully that will provide a little bit of some pass rush. We really haven't seen that a whole lot, as there's a wide open Claypool. Gonna get down to the 10. Yeah, we really haven't seen much of an interior pass rush outside of like Cashman on a blitz, which he's going on here. So hopefully him or Tony will get back there, as there's Shaka Tony getting one early in this game. When it comes to the DTs and the base packages, Hinton and Jones are still getting the start out there. That is just primarily because they are our best block shedders. I still haven't noticed them make big plays, but they're not giving up massive rushes down the middle. Actually, I believe last week we only gave up 66 rushing yards, and I think we had about 74. So that was the really only great thing. As Fields looking to scramble here, Cashman crashes down, and he'll get the stop at the 5. I expect the field goal team. And indeed, that is who heads out. So this would lessen their deficit, make it a 4-point game. As we wind down in the first quarter here, that one is up, and it is a 4-point game. Well, it has not been a bad start to, well, start off. 1st and 10, we're going to come out with the read option, hand this one off Borgie down the middle. We'll continue to fight. I really like the second effort we see from him. And he will end our first quarter, sending us into the second up 7-3. Now, one thing I haven't noted is that it is raining, so that is something to keep an eye out on, as we will go ahead and hand this one off. Borgie down the middle gets a nice block there from, I believe that was Stoner coming in at the receiver spot. But keeping the ball close to our players, not throwing the ball deep downfield, should just help us out in general in, well, not turning the ball over. Does it go with the jet sweep here? No, apparently it's the fake jet sweep. I clicked on the wrong play. That is one thing about learning a new playbook, is that you sometimes forget what each play does. As we try to set up the screen here to Melton, who will get the catch, also still starting today. Manny Fox has not recovered yet from his broken finger, so hopefully he'll be back next week. 3rd and 8, gonna get like a rollout here. Gonna get this one out to Melton, who I guess just didn't see it. And it'll probably be safest here to punt. Well, offensive drive 1, solid. Offensive drive 2, you could see they're still learning the playbook. Now can defensive drive 2 go any better? They do get a nice completion there on 1st down. Samuel converts. And on 1st and 10, they come out with an empty set. Trips to the right, 2 to the left as we drop out of the double A gap. They will still find their tight end for a decent gain on 1st, having the distance needed. So on that 2nd and 5, how about we bring the blitz this time? As they do hand it off Montgomery down the middle. We'll get the 1st down and a few more. Still trying to find a decent balance between sending a blitz to get, better pressure on the quarterback and making sure we still have coverage. But there's Patoe in his first start of the season, back in the sack column. Will be a loss of 7, making it 2nd and 17. With 2 looks to the, actually a bunch to the left, 1 to the right. Apparently did not see that very well the first time, as they go the quick out route, not even out, more of a flat to their tight end, who will get back the lost yardage. And on 3rd and 10, we'll now go out with 2 to either side, as they send Montgomery out of the backfield, try to sit in this coverage, and a nice play there by Shaka Tony keeps contained on Fields. And I do believe they actually counted that as a sack. Now here's one of the plays, I'm not exactly sure how it's going to work, and it just didn't work out well at all. Sack, fumble, scoop, and score. Maybe we don't call that play all too often. Honestly, I'm not sure if that was just we ran into a blitz, or if that play design just in general isn't very good. But on 1st and 10, we're going to flip this one out to Stoner, who does get a little bit of the edge. We'll get about 5 or 6. Or 4? I don't know about that. Feel like we kind of got gypped out of at least a yard there, but it is what it is. 2nd and 6. A little bit of some play action. Is anyone going to break open? How about we dump this one off to Borgie? He'll get the catch, turn up down the sideline, and we'll get close to midfield, I think marked out just shy. Now, one thing that may happen with this new offensive style is a primary focus on Borgie rather than multiple, as that's going to be defensive pass interference for sure. That's probably the one time throwing to a guy in coverage has actually helped me. But as I was trying to say, I feel like with the new look here for the offense as Campbell might have a step. No, another defensive pass interference. Well, that's one way to work the ball downfield. But finally, as I was trying to say, I feel like with the new style of offense, it will be primarily Borghi. We might not see as much of Turbin, as he really doesn't have a whole lot of receiving running back talent. It very much is Borghi as our lone receiving back guy. The other guys are more so power runners. As Borghi trying to get by his own offensive lineman, if they just went forward, it would have been a first down, no problem. But instead, it is a 3rd and 6 as we try to set up a screen to Simi Fehoko on the outside, which we can get it out there. He has some space and enough acceleration to get around the corner down to the 2. That was a close one, but it worked out in our favor that time. But with a goal line set, Turbin will head out there as well as Bodden. Both of them definitely have lessened their role with the new look offense, but capitalizing on opportunities is Turbin with another touchdown on the season. Now with about a minute and a half left before halftime, can the defense hold on to our lead? Will be a pass on play 1. Field looking to scramble and Patoe with 2. As mentioned prior to, we have not gotten very much pressure from the interior so far this season, but in his first start, 2 sacks making an immediate impact. It is not something that can be understated how important it can be to get a pass rush from the interior. We really only have gotten regular pass rush from Shakatoni, so having at least a second guy could be huge. That does also potentially make some of the guys we have at DT expendable, and we could look for some other opportunities or some other guys. 1st and 10 towards midfield as they'll dump this one off now, crossing midfield. Big hit there from, I believe that was Amadi on Paran. Will be a gain of 7. About 25 seconds left and counting. Fields scrambling as he throws cross body. No, but yeah, that is intercepted. Danny Johnson gets the pick off the tip, headed down the sideline. He has one lead blocker and not gonna get by number 16, who forces him out at the 25 with 13 seconds. We have 3 timeouts and a perfect opportunity to try to add some more points. Quarterbacks never do this. Honestly, he almost got it, but the hit there from Artie Burns knocks the ball up, and Danny Johnson makes the play. Now can Huntley and the offense capitalize with some points here? We do have a guy in the back corner, Bo Melton. It drops in beautifully, and we do capitalize after 1 play. In the back corner of the end zone, Bo Melton getting the start due to injury. Well, maybe he will push his way into the starting receiver rotation. Wow, that took way too long to get out. And especially now that we are coming out in a lot of 4 receiver looks. Now with 8 seconds left before halftime, I doubt the Bears are going to try to do anything crazy as they do hand it off to Montgomery, who has space. Carter in pursuit. Forces him out. 1 second left at the 36. And they send out the field goal team. Kicking from about the 43, would be a 53-yarder, could easily be made. And would be a big lapse on the defense, and they just sneak it in. Heck of a kick there by whoever their kicker is to squeeze that one back on in, narrowing their deficit right before half. But as we head on into the locker room, take a quick look at the stat sheet. We do still have a turnover, but we've got one of our own. And honestly, across the board, very similar, very even matchup. But what about around the league? Eagles, we've seen a lot of updates on them. They're up 14-7 against the Panthers. Both teams, 4 losses on the season. As for the next update, we'll have the Green Bay Packers and the Raiders. Don't really feel like that affects us too much, but Packers up 14-0 against the 9-2 Raiders. And lastly, we have the Buffalo Bills and the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys lost to, was it the Eagles last week? It's currently a tied game, 14-14. Are the Cowboys starting to teeter? Not that we're necessarily in a position to try to overtake them in the league, or even in division, but might make things a little bit more interesting as the season goes along if this team can continue to produce. As the second half begins, we are only up 8 points. So definitely nothing for sure, as we've seen before, like the Eagles game last week. We were definitely in charge for a majority of that game and ended up losing it late. We need to make sure we don't allow that to happen this time. As I stretch to Montgomery, who stays on the inside once again, has some space. Johnson tries to cut him off, and maybe we'll be able to grab an ankle. No, through the legs. Montgomery with a heck of a run. And of course, they're going for 2 to tie this game up 21-all. Can we get a bit of a pass rush? Yes, we do. Put Toei and Cashman back there. We still hold on to the lead. However, that does mean we need to be a lot more cautious. As we come out again with an RPO, we will swing this one out to Melton, who will get by the first defender, by the second defender. He wants 2 on the day if he can only outrun Brisker, and he will. Well, maybe this new offense is what this team needs. Bo Melton making a stand to join that receiver rotation. Not going to mess it up this time. Now, one thing about the new playbook for the offense is that it's really going to require a lot of speed, agility, and acceleration from our receivers. Bo Melton, who is our fastest receiver as well as one of our quickest in terms of acceleration, he obviously just made a big play there, as Montgomery might be making another one. Can Cashman? Yeah, he can. Good job, Cashman. But as I was trying to say, with the change of receiver archetype, I am worried about Justin Ross. He is very much a slower guy, 85 speed and acceleration. He has, though, some of the best route running and release, I believe, on the team. So that aspect is good, but does he fit the new look? And there's a big hit from Rice. Just took out Herbert. But I am worried that Ross doesn't quite fit. We'll see how he does the remainder of this season, if he could find a role. But I feel like he's kind of, as a drop there from 12, should have been a first down. Guess the rain coming in our favor this time. But I feel like he could find a way to be moved out of the team with the fact that he doesn't quite fit. Now, does he show enough for us to possibly be able to trade him come the offseason, as the Bears do narrow the deficit? That could be a likely possibility, especially now if Bo Melton can take over in the slot. Maybe Manny Fox moves to the outside. Just provide us a variety of different things we can do, because right now, Bo Melton is eating with this offense. 2 touchdowns on the day, getting the look in the jet sweeps. Got a read option here, as we will go ahead and hand this one off. Borgie down the middle, solid gain, setting up a 3rd and short. And with it only being 2 yards, we'll spread out here with some more read option. Go to hand this one off. Borgie will make the first man miss, but can't make the second. Still feel like this is a situation we could go for it. The Bears don't necessarily have a big man in the middle with a high dev trait, so handed us Bodden down the middle. About 8 yards? Yeah, exactly 8 yards. With the variety of talent on this team, we still have to find ways to get everyone involved, and including some of the goal lines might be a way to do just that. As there's not a whole lot of people over to this left-hand side, it'll be an easy completion for Justin Ross. Again, if we can make sure that he's producing, might help us trade him come the offseason. I also don't think that he could switch to tight end, nor do I think we need him to, as we do have Campbell. Now, we will go ahead and hand this one off down the middle. Unfortunately, no one was really there to get a block on 23, but Borgie still gets 3. And with a lot of mixture of RPOs as well as just pure runs, that might end up helping us open up the top of the defense, as Justin Ross, headed towards the end zone, somehow misses the ball. And Eddie Jackson picks it off. That could come back to bite us in a one-on-one situation too. We have to take the shot. Unfortunately, did not work out in our favor as Herbert finds the space. Not sure which linebacker it was that was in the backfield that ended up whiffing on the tackle. But in just those 2 plays, maybe a sense of momentum shifting towards the side of the Bears. And we find a big play of our own. Herbert will get about a yard, actually 2. Now, I'm not sure if it's just Herbert or if it's a lower level of block shedding perhaps in the middle with Patoe getting the start. He's not that far off of some of the other guys. But maybe just could be a reason why they've had such a great rushing day with Montgomery. Also, they've been able to hit some of the double A gap looks, and that could be, again, another reason why. 3rd and 6, we do come out the double A gap, but we don't bring the pressure. But Parham still delivers a first down. Both quarterbacks today, though, have been really accurate as we head on into the 4th quarter. I do think it's been like a combined 4, maybe 5 incompletions on the day. The passing has been really accurate. 1st and 10, they go with a Claypool jet sweeper, almost like a reverse jet sweep, gets a hurdle and steps out of bounds. We have moved into crunch time, and this is a similar spot in that the Eagles game that kind of ended up losing us the game as Fields gets the first down on a read option, takes a hit as well. But if we could just find a way to make the plays needed, that could see us through with another victory on the season. It does also make me think of earlier when we talked about the quarterback. Do we want him not lose or not win the game so we can ensure we can pick him up? All things to consider, although technically it would be illegal to tank. But I don't know, we'll see. As a read option here, Fields has apparently a way of just making defenders miss wildly on tackling attempts. And instead of a stop there, it'll be a 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. The read options coming through well for the Bears late in this game as they go with a delayed handoff, have some space, but honestly not a great read there by Herbert. And it was Patoe who did get the tackle, but I do need to also state that he was 3 or 4 yards down the field as Rice makes a nice play on the read option, this time tackled at the line of scrimmage. And now on 3rd and 7, they'll come out with a heavy tight end group, and that actually includes an offensive lineman in between the 2 tight ends as they go with a weak side dive, but then cutting back all the way across. Doesn't get him anything, as well as Fant, that tight end actual offensive lineman, coming up a little injured. So on 4th and 8, they send out the field goal unit. Currently down 6 would make it a field goal game, and that's exactly what they do. Well, now it'll be time for the offense to come through this time with a late game lead. We have the opportunity to run out the clock if we just play smart. A nice move there by Bo Melton, but he slips. Will only be a gain of 3. But clock is moving as we get closer to 4 minutes. A little bit of some read option here. We have some space, and Huntley will narrow it down for us, 3rd and 2. And with that, Turbin checks in as our true power back to help ensure we get the first down here. Decent blocking, and he will barely squeeze that one out. Needed 2 yards, got 2.1. Now, have we been able to suck down the defense here? Can we get Bo Melton over the top? No, they cover it well. But we almost had an opportunity to dump it over the top to Justin Ross, but good coverage by Johnson gives up the underneath run for Huntley. But we do have to be cautious of Huntley running. He's been known to fumble, so we'll need to be smart with him as we try to find some space for Borghi, but a great play there made by Hicks. On 2nd and 10, how about we try a halfback screen? That's the kind of screen we haven't ran yet today. This would be the time where they would start blitzing. They don't here, but we do have at least one lead blocker. Borghi cuts back in. Another first down will send us inside the 2-minute warning. All 3 timeouts for both teams as we're trying to just milk this clock, try to get a cutback there by Borghi, and he just keeps pushing. And we haven't seen much from Hales in this game or the last game, so let's bring him out here on the empty look. Motion him over for the jet sweep. He'll get around the edge, good blocking, has a cutback towards the inside, but just couldn't get by Brisker. Still, though, a heck of a run as we're going to motion over Hales again. But we're going to try to set up the screen to that left-hand side. See how well it works on this play. As Huntley takes the snap, they actually cover it really well. But how about we go over the top for Justin Ross? Hopefully that's the nail in the coffin. I really like that play design. And if we can find ways to use Justin Ross like that, maybe we just keep him around as our token possession guy. Because it worked pretty well there. As Fields gonna throw away late. Artie Burns, not even Artie Burns, J.R. Reed will come over, get the pick the second time. Justin Fields with an errant crossbody throw that comes back to bite him. Now with a 2-score lead, a minute 38 left on the clock, 1 timeout remains for the Chicago Bears. Let's give this one out to Melton, who's played pretty well. Try to find a cutback lane there, but just a good job from the Bears defense. However, that does utilize their last timeout, so no longer can they stop the clock. As we're going to motion over Bo Melton once again, fake the jet sweep, hand us one off. Turbin, read again pretty well by the Bears, but we do gain 2. And on 3rd and 11, the empty look. Hales once again out at the slot, going to motion over. Set up the screen to the left-hand side. Also have Simi Fehoko going on a slant, which he slips. We throw it to him late, and we probably just should have gone to the screen. Instead, we stop the clock, 52 seconds. Still have the 2-score lead, though. But the Bears, with 45 seconds left, will attempt a miracle. Coming out with empty. Trips to the right-hand side, to the left. Fields going to look to scramble again, throws out late. This time, not going to cost him. Will be a first down catch by number 48. However, about 20 seconds and counting left in this game. They need 2 touchdowns, and they fumble. Monty Rice will recover. We'll kneel this game out victorious against another bottom-tier team, but I will take it 35-25. Now this new look offense, I'm liking it. Hopefully we can see continued progress. We actually win the turnover department, actually have passing yards, 234, had a lot of rushing yards as well. Overall, I hope this is actually the proper step in the right direction. But now the real question becomes, how good can this offense continue to play? As we could see at the top of where it shows our next games. Obviously, the next one against top of our division, the Dallas Cowboys. We did not play well against them at all last time. And hopefully, the new offense where we're getting the ball out quick, a variety of different ways to a variety of different players, hopefully that'll help us get by them. At least better than we did before. We also have the Giants in Week 15 and the Eagles again in Week 17. So a lot of NFC East battles to round out this season. Hopefully we could find who our guys are going to be moving forward. I was going to show some receivers that are in the next draft class, as we were obviously talking about receivers a lot this game. Unfortunately, next to none of the top guys in the first to second round really show anything in terms of good acceleration and having speed. There are some guys, who have some good release or guys that are good route runners. But no one has both. No one has the acceleration as well as the route running and release. So it'll be an interesting offseason when it comes to deciding what we do with receiver. But the main focus right now is finishing off the season in a positive manner. So make sure you guys stick around. Hit the subscription button either down below or my bear icon in the bottom right-hand corner. Make sure you tap the bell icon so you're actually notified of when these videos go live. This series posted every Monday and Thursday, with the state-only challenge every Wednesday and Saturday. We also have the FIFA My Player Career that is posted every Tuesday and Friday. So 6 videos a week. Leave the channel some love. And until next time, where we face yet again another tough opponent, we'll see you later. Bye.